how's it going today? Justin the Red Island Shaver, finally back with a new video. Hopefully this all works out and hopefully you can see me. For those that may be new to the channel, I am legally blind. For those that have been following along, you already know this. And so yeah, but as far as I can tell, I think I can see myself in the screen there. So we're gonna get right into it. So for the return to my channel, today is going to be how a legally blind or how a blind person can traditionally wet shave. Okay, so I had my brush soaking in a lather bowl, and the brush I'm using today is a V-Long horsehair knot, and the soap, I'm just gonna get the old magnifying glass, make sure it's right side up for the camera. Make sure it's right side up for the camera. The struggle is real. Soapy Bath Man Lumberjack. It's a soap that I really enjoy. It's a very nice. Woodsy, wintry scent. I know it's summer, but this has some menthol and stuff in it, so it's nice and cool. So I figure, why not? So if you are visually impaired and you're looking at getting into wet shaving, hopefully some of these videos will help you. So all I'm doing right now is I'm loading my brush. Typically you go for about a 30-second load on a damp brush with a hard soap. Roundabout, and that should give you plenty of suds to work with. I was lucky enough that I was already into this wet shaving before I lost my eyesight, so it's kind of a little easier to manage. I can see a bit. I can kind of see where my face is in the mirror. Not really. It's really fuzzy. I can kind of see where my goatee is, and that's about it. So all this will be by muscle memory and just by feel. And I would say that's a good load right there on the brush. So we will cap that and put this over here. Try not to knock a bunch of stuff off. And we'll just go right into the bowl and start working the lather in the bowl. So most of us do this by sight, but if you're visually impaired and you can't see or can't see too well, basically for me, what I like my lather to feel like is creamy, not runny. You want it to have some body, so tactilely think of kind of like whipped cream is kind of what I go for. And you're going to want to add water a couple times to this. Soaps like Soapy Bath Man will take a fair bit of water. And you just keep working it in a bowl, and depending on your level of vision, if you can kind of see what you're doing, like I can just kind of see that some peaks are starting to form. If you need to use a magnifier, use a magnifying glass or whatever, then by all means use that to judge your lather. And I'm just going to take a bit more water. If you're going to be wet shaving and using a sharp implement, you definitely want a protective, cushiony lather. You do not want something that is runny and watery and running off your face. You want this to stay on your face where it is going to protect you. And that will become even more apparent here in a couple minutes when you see what I'm going to be using. Which, once again, thankfully, I had extensive use with before I started losing my sight. So I'm still able to use this particular implement of choice, which is great for my mental health, because that was actually one of the hardest things, believe it or not, about going blind or losing my sight, was having to give up a lot of my hobbies and stuff, and that's a hard thing to deal with. Oh, the scent on this stuff is amazing. Love the smell of Soapy Bath Man Lumberjack. And that looks pretty good to me. So I will set my bowl down and I'm going to verify it with a magnifying glass. Lather all over my hands here. So if you need to do this, then by all means, you do whatever you need to do, and that looks good to me. So I'm going to quickly wet the face and we will apply this. Alright. So now even when I'm doing this, I still really can't see what I'm doing. So I want to make sure my lather is good right from the start, because I really can't see how well it's covering the face. But tactilely, I know it feels good. It feels thick and creamy. And I could just see well enough to see that it's covering my face. Feels pretty good. If I look into the mirror, I can just kind of see where everything is there. And it feels good to me. So, razor I'm going to be using today for this particular video. It's a razor that's very near and dear to my heart. It is my Boker King Cutter. This was honed and redone by Randy Pocket. And this is one of my favorite razors. So, as many of you know, I can't see really what I'm doing. I just go by muscle memory. I do have adult supervision here in case I get into trouble. My wife is actually home. I'm not going to do this if it's just me by myself, but I do, I do have enough muscle memory to be able to do this. So, away we go. I'll just put the blade on the face. Flat, angle it down a bit, and shave. Very nice. Only have 1 day's worth of growth today, so there's really not a whole lot to mow down here. Switch hands, blade flat on the face, find my little angle, about 30 degrees. Very nice. There's no pressure on the blade. You're just letting the weight of the blade do the work. And you're just gliding it through the hairs. Alright, so that's the first pass done. Now I'm kind of a messy shaver anyway. Always was. I always left a few little spots of lather. That's just the way I am. I don't bother rinsing off in between passes anymore. I just re-lather and go for it. There we go. Let's clean up the neckline a wee little bit. Hopefully everybody's having a great weekend so far. Mine's going pretty good. Kind of getting back into the rhythm of things. So now we will go across the grain. So for me, that's across my cheeks. Once again, blade flat. Find your angle. There we go. Now we do the neckline. I know I have moles down here, so I just kind of make sure I'm above them. This is actually the trickier pass because just is. This is where you want to have absolute trust in your razors. You want to make sure they're sharp too. You want to make sure they're able to glide through, cut right through the hairs instead of digging in, especially if you can't really see what you're doing. Now across the grain. I think I left a fair bit of suds there, but that's okay. I'm going to pick up the last of that stubble with this next pass anyway. So the lather's holding up nicely in the bowl, as you can see. It's an indication it was a properly made lather. I don't think there's any blood. I haven't cut myself, so that's probably a good thing. It's funny because with using the straight razor, you have to make sure these are dried off well after each use, like in between the scales and that. It actually takes me longer to get the toilet paper in between the scales than it does to shave. All right, now finish the last pass. May have got a mole there, I don't know. It's hard to see when you can't see. I think that's good. I think that's good. It's not something that I want to push any further. Quickly check, see if I can see any blood. I can't really tell. Anyway, go for the cold water rinse. All in all, it was a pretty good shave, considering you can't see what I'm doing. Don't think I drew any blood. I don't think so. It's a pretty close shave all the way around. So we'll finish up with the matching balm, Soapy Bathman Lumberjack. just need a little dollop in the hand there. All these balms I get with menthol in them, so they feel nice on the face. My bathroom's starting to heat up like crazy here. Very nice. And that's that. So that's how a blind person can manage to do a shave with a straight razor. So, like I said, luckily I knew what I was doing coming into this. I was fairly practiced in it. But, you know, I don't think being visually impaired should be a deterrent either if somebody is looking to try this style of shaving. So anyway, hopefully this helps out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'd like to thank all my subscribers for sticking with the channel in the last few weeks. I'm kind of dormant. And anyway, hopefully we're back on the regular uploads. So as always, friends, have a great day and an even better shave, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.